all over the world and went to the academy. And because through knowledge, if they were qualified or they came from that lineage, it's this knowledge that enabled you to rule over, that gave you the wisdom to rule over the unenlightened masses. And that's what we have in the church today. Okay? Look, me and every other seminary student in the world, John and I share this testimony. We were told in seminary that what you learn here in seminary, you will not be teaching to your congregants. They can't understand it. They tell you that point blank. Keep the cookies on the shelf, whatever, okay? And this is Baptist seminary. As a new believer in the church, growing up in the church, I could never figure, I started going to seminary, a conservative seminary, right after I was a Christian. It was puzzling to me, because not getting it, okay, just being a new believer, born again, and not getting it, all this stuff I was learning in seminary, I'm like, oh boy, I can't wait to share this with the congregation. So I was an intern for a pastor down in Texas, and on Wednesday night I'd get up there and start teaching all of this stuff I was learning in seminary. I thought I was going to seminary because I was supposed to learn it and take it to the saints. I started causing all kinds of trouble in the church for teaching theology in the church. And I'm like, okay, well, this is a fluke. Then the next church I went to, same thing. The church after that, same thing. And then, 10 years later, you're like, oh, what's going on here? There's what's going on. Plato. The pastors go to seminary, okay, to learn the higher knowledge, and then they use that knowledge to go back to the unenlightened masses, whether in church or out of church, and it gives them wisdom to herd as many totally depraved zombie sheep safely into heaven that they can get there. Okay? And even most pastors who would not admit that that's the way they think logically, the rest of them, the vast majority, that's how they function. Okay? That's how they function. Hey, look, the potter's house, I'm not doing all the digging in Scripture that I do for the benefit of the people who come. I'm hoping that I'm giving them tools where they can study the Scriptures on their own and come back and teach me some stuff. I don't want to do all the work. Okay? So this is what we got. Listen to me. Al Mohler said this. Slight paraphrase. He told a bunch of pastors at a conference that God had preordained them and appointed them to save the sheep from ignorance. That's what he said. Okay? But lest we rag on him too much, 90% of the pastors out there, if not more than that, that's how they function. They don't function like they're leaders among priesthood of believers. Okay? Look, come on. I know that Jesus used the shepherd and the sheep thing as an illustration, but it's not a literal illustration. It's what would you call it? Okay? But what degree do we take that? A sermon I heard. Pastors being good Calvinists, those who aren't Calvinists but function that way, or, authentic Calvinists, they go to the encyclopedia and they learn all of this stuff about sheep. Look at this, man. Look at this. It says it right here in the encyclopedia. sheep among animals, sheep are the dumbest animals that there are on the earth. Who knew? Besides Calvin. Okay? Oh, and look at this. They're helpless. If they fall over, they can't get up themselves. They got these little feet and these big fat bodies. And if they fall over, okay, they can't even get up themselves. The shepherd has to come and help them up. Okay? And then this video that you and I watched that almost caused us not to get married back in the day, the pastor in that video said, sheep are skittish. Do you know that you can sneak up on a sheep or a lamb and go, boo! And like startle them to the point to where they'll die. Okay? So then they take this great stuff, man. And then they take it and they go to the pulpit and they say, thou art the dumbest amongst creation. Okay? You're helpless. You know, if you fall, you can't even get up. You got to call me to help you get up.